Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're digging into something a bit different. Not abstract theory, but real-world wisdom.
That's right. It's from Timeless Principles of Exceptional Businesses, which pulls insights from the Alternative Board, or TABE.
And TABE is, well, they're this global network, right?
Yeah.
Advisory boards for thousands of private businesses.
Exactly. So this book captures like 25 years of their collective experience, 25 core principles they see over and over.
And the key thing is, it's not just a list. It digs into why these things matter, using stories from actual business owners, real experiences.
Yeah, the goal is showing the why behind the what.
So our mission for this deep dive is to pull out the most, potent, maybe surprising, and definitely actionable ideas. A shortcut, really, to some keys for business success and maybe a better life as an owner, too.
Definitely covers that too. The scope is huge: strategy, culture, operations, planning an exit, even work-life balance. It's all in there.
Okay, quite a bit to cover. Let's jump in. First part focuses on the owner's mindset, their approach, the foundation.
Right. And it starts with a pretty direct question. Are you the driver or a passenger?
Ooh, I like that. Straight to the point. Are you actually steering or just kind of drifting?
Yeah. Are you actively guiding the business towards where you want it to go, or just reacting to whatever comes along?
The book uses that driving analogy, doesn't it? Looking in the rearview mirror versus the windshield.
Exactly. Are you fixated on past results, the rear view, or using a strategic plan, like a GPS, looking ahead? Proactive versus reactive.
So the insight is not having a plan that's basically choosing to be a passenger, letting things just happen to you.
Precisely. There's a quote from a TAB member, Mark Abels, something like, put time into your plan, have a strategy, live by it, work to it, step back and focus on it. It's about being intentional.
But strategy, does that mean getting bogged down in some massive, complicated document?
No, definitely not. The source is clear. It's not about a 4-inch thick binder. They mention Richard Remelt's framework: diagnosis, guiding policy, coherent actions. Pretty simple, really.
So just where, when, and the main steps.
Basically, a simple structure actually frees you up because it guides your decisions. You're not constantly guessing.
Okay. Which leads nicely to the next point. You probably can't figure all this out alone. The principle is, if you're the smartest person in the room, perhaps you're in the wrong room.
Yeah, this one hits home for a lot of entrepreneurs, right? You built it, you know it best, but that creates blind spots.
So the insight is that getting outside advice isn't weakness, it's actually smart strategy.
Absolutely. And not just, chatting with friends or family. They mean a more formal group, trusted advisors, an advisory board.
Like Andrew Carnegie's mastermind idea.
Yeah.
Pooling brain power.
Exactly, that concept.
Ah.
And there's research mentioned suggesting group decisions often outperform even the smartest individual in the group.
Interesting.
A good board holds you accountable too, keeps you moving forward. Sir Richard Branson's quote fits here. Asking questions can save you a lot of time and money. So, external perspective is crucial.
Okay, plan, check. Outside advice, check. But then there's this internal battle, the pitfalls of emotional decision-making.
Oh, this is a big one. Your business feels like your baby, so emotions are always tied up in it.
Understandably.
But the core insight here is that letting feelings, rather than objective facts, drive critical decisions can seriously hurt the business.
There's a story in the book about Mary, right?
Yeah, really powerful. Treated employees like family. Good intentions, absolutely. But it caused problems with productivity, structure, because she couldn't make tough calls based on performance.
So the emotion got in the way of professional management.
Exactly. Her advisory board helped her see the need for data, for facts. You know that saying, in God we trust, all others bring data. That applies here.
Yeah.
It's hard, especially at first, but running professionally, separating emotion from business logic is vital for survival. That separation isn't cold, it's what keeps the business healthy for everyone involved.
That professionalism connects to how owners use their time, which is the next principle. Stop working below your pay grade.
Right. Think about your resources. Money, people, time. Time's the only one you really control directly.
And the insight is, value your time properly.
Precisely. Your time as the owner has a high value. Spending it on tasks someone else could do for less is just, well, it's a huge drag on growth.
The story about the partner calculating her hourly rate, that sticks.
Doesn't it? $450 an hour. Instead of spending 3 hours fetching suppliers herself, costing her like $1,350 in potential value, she paid $220 for a car service. A massive potential gain.
It really reframes doing it yourself.
It forces you to think, What is this task really costing me? The source suggests making a to-don't list, things to stop doing or delegate.
To free you up for the big stuff.
Exactly. The platinum activities, the high-impact strategic work only you should be doing. That's what moves the needle.
Okay, so what fuels all this? What keeps the owner going? The book says passion.
Yeah, it calls passion the key fuel. Absolutely essential for reaching the business's full potential.
The story of Chaz Neely. Wow. Selling his house. Twice.
Incredible commitment, right. That's not just business calculation. That's pure passion driving him through tough times for his steel business.
So the insight is, passion isn't just nice to have. It's the engine.
It's the engine. It gets you through the grind, the groundhog days, and helps differentiate you. It makes the business yours.
And it can come from different places, not just the product.
Right. The work itself, your team, customers, the impact. And if you feel it fading, the book suggests ways to rekindle it. Delegate stuff you hate, focus on strategy, create fun, involve your family for support.
Keeping things fresh. That links to the next idea, lifelong learning, the ticket to business success, and a more fulfilled life.
Yeah, this is about adaptability, seeing where things are headed, skating to where the puck is going, as the saying goes.
Steve Jobs talked about connecting the dots from diverse experiences.
Exactly. Lifelong learning isn't just about business books. It's a commitment to increasing knowledge, perspective, self-awareness.
The benefits are
tangible. Keeps your brain sharp, makes you a better leader, broadens your problem-solving toolkit, brings personal fulfillment, opens doors to new opportunities. The insight. Learning isn't a hobby, it's vital for staying ahead.
So how do you actually do lifelong learning?
Set goals. Seek out different sources, books, podcasts, workshops, talking to people. Ask tons of questions, especially from employees, customers, vendors. Be open. And the absolute key, apply what you learn. Do something with it.
Okay, let's shift to something many owners struggle with. A little more life and a little less work. Achieving a work-life balance.
The classic paradox. You start a business for freedom, then it owns you.
The book mentions surveys showing owners working crazy hours, stressed, no vacations.
Yeah, it's common. But the core insight here is a mindset shift. The business should be a vehicle for your personal vision. Your life goals come first, priority 1. The business serves them, priority 1A.
So balance is possible, but it needs planning.
Yes. Strategic planning helps you identify what needs to change, like delegating more, building better systems so the business can support the life you want.
But it's not a one-size-fits-all thing, is it? Some owners thrive on the intensity.
Absolutely. The book mentions Sean Baker, who found fulfillment being deeply involved, working long hours. The point isn't forcing balance on everyone, but encouraging you to consciously design the business to fit your definition of a successful life.
Which leads to a fascinating challenge, the 90-day challenge. Have your business run without you.
This isn't literally about vanishing for 3 months tomorrow. It's about structuring the business so it could run without your constant day-to-day input. It lets you work on the business, not just in it.
The 90-day challenge is like a test run for that capability.
Kind of. It forces the issue of delegation and systems. The story of Ben Allen is amazing here.
The wire harness guy who went to Tanzania.
Yeah. Planned for 18 months before his 7-month trip, empowered people, documented everything like a how-to manual for the whole business, and crucially, learned to let go. Trust the team.
And the results were surprising.
Incredible. Biggest profit month ever while he was gone. Customer service improved. The team stepped up. He said it was the best thing he ever did for the business and himself.
Wow. The insight there is powerful. Billing it to run without you unlocks its potential and your freedom.
Totally.
Okay, final principle in this owner-focused section. I don't need an exit strategy, addressing that common denial.
Right. Many owners think, oh, I'll just sell it to some young go-getter. The source says, hold on, it's not that simple.
Why not?
Well, younger generations might want a different lifestyle, not 60-hour wicks. Plus, competition from corporate jobs with good benefits. And finding a buyer with the cash and risk appetite, it's tough.
So the insight is, ignoring the exit actually limits your options and maybe the business's value.
Definitely. And a key point. A business less dependent on the owner with clear processes is inherently more valuable and easier to sell.
Planning needs to start early then.
Years ahead. Like Eric Eschinger planned for 7 years, even tested family members' abilities. But it's not just about selling.
Wow.
There's the counterpoint from Sam Conroy. Rejected a great offer because the business was him. Emotionally inseparable.
So the real insight isn't just sell versus don't sell.
No. It's that planning your exit, whatever that looks like, even if it's just succession within the family or winding down, aligns the business's future with your personal life goals. It gives you choices.
Okay, that covers the owner's mindset and strategy, really foundational stuff. Let's move into part 2. Building the engine team, culture, operations.
Right, starting with that invisible force. Don't just talk about company culture, live it.
Culture.
Yeah.
The company's personality. What's the main takeaway?
The insight is culture isn't an HR initiative. It's shaped by the leader, especially in smaller companies. It's how things actually get done based on shared vision and values. You can't fake it.
So the owner has to own it.
100%. Define the vision and values, live them daily, reinforce them constantly. And this is critical. Hire people who genuinely fit that culture. Your actions define the real culture.
Which flows right into get the right people in the right seats on your company bus.
That classic Jim Collins phrase. The source breaks it down. Right people means they share your core values. Right seats means their skills match the role.
And the insight is values first.
Yes. Define your core values before you hire. Hire and fire based on them. Skills can often be taught, but value alignment is fundamental. People who get the values are happier, more productive, more trustworthy.
What about when good people grow?
You need to provide opportunities for them. But keeping someone who's a poor value fit, that's toxic. It drags everyone down.
Okay, you've hired the right people. Now what? The moments of truth. The importance of the first 90 days, employees.
This focuses on onboarding, the critical insight. Those first 90 days basically set the tone for the entire employment relationship.
Why are they so crucial?
It's when expectations are formed, trust is built or broken, processes are learned, get it wrong, and you're playing catch-up forever.
So what does good onboarding look like?
Clear vision and values communicated again, immersion in the culture, explaining how their role connects to the big picture, clear responsibilities and processes, lots of communication and feedback.
The example of Steve Gilbertson sounds very deliberate.
Very. Facility tours, proper orientation, shadowing, training, regular check-ins at 30, 60, 90 days with goals. It's intentional. It avoids just throwing people in the deep end.
It relates to that quote, investing in people.
Yeah, Peter Bakeland. What happens if we invest and they leave? What happens if we don't and they stay? The risk of not onboarding well is far greater.
Okay, shifting from people to systems. Run your business like a franchise.
This ties back to owner freedom and exit value again. The insight. A business run on clear, documented processes like a franchise model is more scalable, consistent, valuable, and less dependent on you.
First step is always documentation. Writing it down.
Absolutely. Document how you do things, then empower your team. The idea of an internal franchise is interesting, letting entrepreneurial employees run parts of the business using your documented model with the culture as the agreement.
Sounds like letting go of control, which can be hard.
Very hard. The book mentions Michael Benker struggling with this, but realizing he had to trust good people. Mistakes will happen, sure, but empowered employees who feel ownership are incredibly valuable.
And how do you track if this franchise is working? That brings us to KPIs. Business by the numbers. Managing your business using key performance indicators.
Love the analogy here. A pilot needs instruments. You can't just look out the window. KPIs are your business dashboard.
So they're not just looking back at financials.
No, that's the key insight. Good KPIs are key, critical, performance measurable, and indicator, giving real-time or predictive info. They track progress towards your vision.
What makes a KPI truly useful?
It should ideally include leading indicators like lead flow or sales pipeline that predict future results, not just lagging ones like past profits. Think profitability, efficiency, capacity, opportunity, liquidity, trends.
Any practical tips on using KPIs?
Don't have too many. Keep them simple to track. Focus on now and the future. Include non-financials. Visualize them, graphs, dashboards. Share them with the team and use them. We manage what we measure, right?
Right. Measurement drives focus. Okay, last one in this section. Your hidden strategic advantage. Technology as your core competency.
Technology is arguably the biggest game changer in business over the last 25 years. The insight, it's not just IT support anymore. It can be a core strategic weapon.
Even in traditional industries, like construction.
Exactly. The story of Michael, the specialty construction owner, he was drowning in operational issues. He used tech to map and automate his entire workflow and software.
Enabling management by exception.
Yes. He only got involved when things went off track. The results. Freed up his time massively, boosted margins and revenue, and he created a new income stream licensing the software.
That's incredible.
The takeaway is, Think creatively. Where can tech automate, provide data, connect people, or create value in your business, even if it seems low-tech? That might be your edge.
Okay, great stuff on the internal workings. Let's pivot outwards now to part 3, connecting with the market, customers, and brand.
Starting with standing out, what's your red rose? Differentiating your offering.
Ah, the exterminator story. Simple, memorable.
Exactly. That single red rose wasn't just a nice touch. It was unique, memorable, got people talking, generating referrals, the best kind of marketing. The insight. In today's noise, you have to differentiate.
This is about the unique selling proposition, the USP.
Yes. Why should someone choose you over everyone else? Think Domino's 30 minutes or less, or FedEx's absolutely, positively. It has to matter to the customer, be hard to copy, and as the source says, it must sell for you.
Makes sense. Closely related is a strong brand equals strong profits.
And brand today is way more than a logo. It's the whole perception, the value people feel you add. Jeff Bezos' definition is great. Brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room.
And that perception has real dollar value.
Huge value. Strong brands command premium prices, think Apple. They make selling easier, almost pre-selling the customer. But the most crucial factor,
The customer experience.
bingo. What you do matters more than what you say. Consistency builds trust. Remember, Maya Angelou, people will never forget how you made them feel.
So branding is about consistent positive experiences.
Yes, making excellence a habit, as Aristotle said, empowering staff to deliver it. And targeting a narrow audience helps build that strong connection. Trying to be everything to everyone rarely works.
Okay, connecting on a deeper level, why start with why?
This brings in Simon Sinek's Golden Circle: what, how, why, the core insight. People connect with and are moved by your why, your purpose, your belief, more than just what you do or how you do it.
Because why taps into emotion.
Exactly. The limbic brain feelings, decisions, what and how are more rational neocortex stuff. True loyalty, the kind measured by Net Promoter Score, comes when a customer's why resonates with your company's why.
How do businesses communicate that why?
Weave it into your value proposition. Use stories. Stories connect emotionally. Tell stories about who you are, who you've helped. Position your offering as the answer to the customer's deeper need or dream their why. Then price becomes less important. And just like with new hires, those early days with customers are vital. The moments of truth. The importance of the first 90 days. Customers.
So client onboarding is just as critical.
Absolutely. The insight is the same. This period sets the tone for the whole relationship. High interaction, lots of questions, maybe some second thoughts from the customer.
Buyer's remorse.
It's real. They're wondering, will you deliver? Can I trust you? A structured onboarding process that delivers tangible value fast is key to cementing the relationship.
Like Steve Gilbertson again, with plant tours and order tracking.
Exactly. Transparency, communication, managing expectations, make them feel valued and confident right from the start. That builds a foundation for loyalty. Foundational to all of this, though, is know your market.
Sounds basic, but maybe it's easily missed.
Very easily. The insight is stark. If you don't understand your market, nothing else matters. You won't connect. The soccer mom example from politics shows how deep understanding allows targeted messaging.
And the book has examples of owners getting it wrong.
Yeah, the guy wanting to use social media when his customers weren't online. Or the owner realizing an employee valued family time over a raise, needing to know the employee market's why, too.
So it's about understanding the why behind the purchase.
Yes. Fear, risk, pride, dreams. Ask questions. Listen. Understand their pain or their goal. Then you can position what you offer as the solution, making you indispensable.
Let's talk about a major market shift, the new subscription economy.
The big insight here is how broadly applicable this model is now. It's not just magazines or software anymore. Almost any business can find a creative subscription angle.
Like Salesforce changing software, monthly fees instead of big upfront costs.
That was a huge shift. But the source says think broader. Home contractors with maintenance plans, florists with regular deliveries, curated boxes.
What's the appeal for businesses?
Predictable, recurring revenue, smoother cash flow, deeper customer relationships. Amazon Prime is a brilliant example. Started as a perk, now drives incredible loyalty and spending.
Professional services, too.
Definitely. Levels out the feast or famine cycle. Eric Ashinger planned to move his electrical company towards more maintenance contracts. The flip side, Blockbuster versus Netflix. Ignoring these shifts is risky. Okay, bringing it all together for sustained success. Disciplined growth.
This isn't about just getting bigger faster or slashing prices.
No. The insight is that healthy, sustainable growth requires discipline. It needs strategy, deep knowledge of products, customers, market, competitors, and metrics. It's not accidental.
And the challenges change as the business grows.
Yes, but the need for discipline remains. You need to constantly evaluate key areas. Are your products still relevant? Who are your most profitable customers, and why? Do you have the right people and processes? Are your systems scaling? And are you tracking the right metrics?
The story about the $1 8 business that really shows discipline in action.
Totally. 70% of revenue from one client risky. They used disciplined analysis, a customer product matrix, understood their market segments, restructured, and grew to $4.06, diversifying that big client down to 40%. Sustainable growth.
The insight is continuous evaluation using data and making tough calls.
That's it. Disciplined owners use facts and metrics to guide decisions, even the difficult ones, to ensure long-term health.
Wow. Okay, that's a whirlwind tour of 25 really meaty principles. A lot distilled there.
It really is. Decades of hard-won experience from thousands of owners boiled down.
And they feel timeless because they're about fundamentals, right? People, process, purpose, connection, things that don't fundamentally change with technology.
Exactly. They offer a solid framework for thinking about how you lead, how you build, and how you connect with your market.
The book emphasizes that knowledge is valuable when it's applied. So maybe a final thought for you listening. If you could pick just one of these timeless principles to really focus on applying in your business starting today, which one would it be and what's the very first step you could take?
That's a great question to ponder. We hope this deep dive sparks some ideas and encourage you to keep exploring what's most relevant for your own journey.